Ready. Play.
Okay, 2 match points here for Carlitos. He's going to get done the first one. Is he going to serve volley?
No, he's not. Hubie plays really well and comes in at the net.
Thought he might try for the serve volley on that first serve. Nice one, Hubie, yeah.
Maybe he's going to read your mind and serve volley on this one, Dave.
No, I think he won't now, though. I think it's for 40-15, yes. No, 40-30, no. Different situation.
Well, yeah, I guess two opportunities. Knows that if he doesn't quite get it right, he has second one at the bank.
Yeah. Hubie there almost falling over. That would have been just kind of amusing.
That's quite that's not a great way to lose a match.
No, but
falling into the net. And Alcaraz gets it done with a forehand winner.
Now that's the way I would expect him to seal the match.
It's a great recovery from Alcaraz after losing that second set. It could have easily got away from him quite quickly. And it began a struggle. Oh, Damien.
Yeah, I didn't tell you he was coming. I thought I'd keep it as a surprise. Damien,
what a surprise. Damien.
Yeah. What are you wearing?
Pleasant or not? I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were wearing a jumper, but it's the cushion behind you or the pillow behind you that's deceiving me.
Yeah, I'm just wearing a normal t-shirt.
What's the t-shirt?
A normal t-shirt, I said.
Oh, normal one. I'm looking forward to that Estoril Open hat, putting in an appearance again soon.
Right, I forgot about that. I will have to find it before we come there. Although, actually, maybe I shouldn't take it because they won't give us another one then, right?
Oh yeah, they might not, or they might reward us by wearing it. Oh wow, you're loyal to the cause. Here's another one again.
Despite the downgrade, which is actually an upgrade, but yeah.
I know. Yeah, what I won't be wearing is, of course, my Porto Challenger hat, which I stylistically actually prefer, and it was a better fit because I left it in a Frankfurt restaurant, which I've yet to. Yeah, I know, Fergus.
Shocking.
Anyway, look at Lurland's here welcoming your appearance, Damien. You've been.
I'm not used to this, Nurlan. I mean, usually you say I suck and that I'm less than.
Yeah,
something.
But you know why? Because you weren't here. So when you're not here, he's very complimentary. But then so for example, earlier he's saying he did the arrows thing for Damien against Fergus. Anyway, you've been on the show for 2 minutes and we haven't talked about tennis. How much of that final set did you see, Damien?
Oh, barely anything.
Okay. How much are you surprised that Carlos is in the Rotterdam final? Would you have suspected that a week ago? He had a rocky start against Botic, for example, but he does sort of seem to have issues with the Dutchman. Are you surprised to see him in the final, or what are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I don't think he has any issues with Zandschulp generally. Like, I think at the US Open, it could have been anybody in the second round, almost. Of course, not anybody, but it wasn't really the opponent that day. I mean, when Yannick pulled out, Carlos became the main favorite to win the event. Some of the other high seeds, they are currently at a crossroads. Medvedev, Rublev, Tsitsipas, and the likes. Alex de Minaur, of course, was in the other half, so he doesn't really come into consideration. I mean, other than today, I think he's just had a pretty good run. Pedro Martinez, Adria Vavasori, sorry, but even on courts like this, the guys won't be able to touch him really. They don't have that sort of caliber of weapons. Hurkacz, it's a problem, I guess. 4 matches now, every single one of them have been close. Hurkacz even had a match point against him in Cincinnati. But obviously, today was maybe the first win where I'm entering the match thinking, it doesn't have to be easy. He doesn't have to win. I think it's going to be a fine sort of outcome for him to potentially win this title. Obviously, 500 points, first indoor title since the Next Gen Finals, first proper indoor title. But it's also an event that he's clearly playing for the appearance fee, right? I mean, he's just playing one random indoor event and then gonna move on to Indian Wells. So I guess you gotta play something in February. You don't want to
Is it not
spend
a
month away.
Fergus and I were talking about this earlier, though. Is it slightly better for the body to come back to Europe, stay in Europe, and then go to Indian Wells, and also hardcore indoor? Is it a bit better? He got injured, of course, in Rio last year. Was he thinking, okay, I mean, I don't know. Was he just thinking that maybe Rotterdam might be a slightly better build up to Indian Wells rather than that, changing completely the surface in South America?
No, I mean, I think it's obvious that they paid him a lot of money, but also, yeah, I mean, going to the Golden Swing the last couple of years, that was also kind of pointless, right? Even when he did win the event in Buenos Aires and then has that Rio run, or the other way around. No, or how was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost in the
Yeah,
Rio
he
final, right?
Lost the final to
Yeah,
Nori.
lost in the Rio final to Nori. Even when he had that, like the entire week in Nori, in Rio, he was just like fatigued from even the very start of the event against Mateusz Alves. I think it was his opening round, and that already was tiring. So like playing 2 Golden Swing events, I think it was definitely overkill. So playing just one is better, like regardless of what it is really in February. And I do think that Rotterdam, I mean, the appearance fee must have been enormous.
I think it's.
Go on, folks.
I think last year almost gave him the opportunity to stay closer to home and just prepare for Indian Wells, because semi-finals in Buenos Aires, I mean, that gives you a semi-finals of a 250 event. That gives you what 90, 100 points. That's he can sacrifice that, and then he went out first round because he withdrew from injury in Rio. So he has pretty much no points to defend in the Golden Swing. So
was he injured in Rio, Damien? I thought he got basically blown off the court by Montero.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just lasted a few points, but
I think he basically just thought, I'm not winning.
Thiago was killing him. Yeah, I think Carlos. He just didn't think that there was a chance he was going to win the match.
Chance.
Yeah.
He just gave up because he just saw the power.
Exactly.
Montero
Overwhelmed.
holds.
Yeah. I thought, I don't want to push myself too far. I've got Indian Wells on the horizon, probably my best tournament of the year.
Yeah, and and then he goes and wins Indian Wells. It's all
and the Netflix slam.
And then and the Netflix slam, that we should have pinpointed a point in that Netflix slam, Damien, that Rafa Nadal could have and should have won, and then and then put it in our mix for the slams that Nadal missed out on. Remember, we did that show of all those points that Nadal maybe could have and should have won, and then his whole legacy would have been different. You know the show I'm talking about, right? Anyway, let's get back to the business and be a little bit more serious regarding this. So, 3-set win today for Alcaraz, a straight sets win for Alex de Minaur. Bellucci just running out of steam, it seems. So we're now going to get a de Minaur Carlos Alcaraz final, Damien. I posited earlier that de Minaur Alcaraz is different to Sinner de Minaur, in that if this was Sinner de Minaur, I would be like just not bothering. But I think de Minaur has a chance tomorrow.
I'm close to not bothering.
Okay.
I mean, definitely some like very defensively oriented players have been bothering Carlos this week. The conditions are super slow. And I mean, he still struggles to kind of like get his foothold on that sometimes. Of course, the Barcelona final, semi-final, which you have here, that was super close. There were match points. There was a pretty spectacular shot match point down. But I think also for de Minaur, like the entire week, I'm kind of just waiting for a match where the slow conditions are also going to hurt him, in the sense that, his shots, they don't have any like pace, depth, quality on them really. It sounds funny, but it's true, like at least compared to the level at which he's playing right now. When it comes to top 10 players, like he just doesn't have any shots, but he's really improved over the years. Sure, he's more aggressive, not on a court like this. Like, how is he going to be aggressive? And yet his game is like a very good I don't know, like estimate when you have someone like Mattia Bellucci, Matteo Arnaldi in Australia last year, something like that. Like just someone who's young, not just got a good win or something like that. He runs into de Minaur, he's gonna lose 6-2, 6-2 every single time. But then you arrive in a match with another top player where Alex has been struggling generally, and I don't see how, other than just like literally tracking down every ball, like how he hurts Alcaraz with any shot in his arsenal on a slow court like this. So I'm close to not bothering. I mean, I probably won't have to anyway. The Lille final is at 3 p.m. tomorrow. I don't know when the Rotterdam final is, but probably something similar, I would assume.
Very
So
similar, yeah.
probably I won't have to bother. But yeah, I mean, my expectations aren't too high. Unless it's really just like another one of these performances when, Carlos is trying to attack but is making 100 unforced errors.
Fergus a couple of days ago decided to put his neck on the line and tip an Alex de Minaur title win in Rotterdam. So I guess you're going to have to stick with that, Fergus, right?
Yep, I'm gonna stick with it as much as Damien is
Down on it.
the almighty master of tennis. I'll go against
He's
him
not.
and
You get
stick.
him in. You wait till you see him struggling in that backhand corner, as I saw him in the second set in Porto last year, and he's anything but a master.
But
of
on set point, you approached to my backhand and I found the pass down the line. The approach was horrible, but most of the match it was giving you points anyway.
John,
Yeah.
you strike me as a one-hander backhand kind of person. Really?
I'm a one-hander.
You're a one-hander. Really? I would have thought
That's
the
why
other
he
way
was
around.
approaching to my backhand. I mean,
Oh, wow. And anyway, I'm still backing de Minaur. I think he's been playing brilliantly this week. Better than Alcaraz has been playing this week. Has de Minaur dropped a set so far this week? I don't think so.
I'm going to check now. I do have his previous matches up here. No, they've all been straight sets. I mean, it's not been maybe the most. I mean, with the exception of Mensik en route, Goffin, Altmaier, and Bellucci, it's not bad to reach an ATP 500 final.
Yeah, I mean, it's not high quality opponents.
Damien giggling there.
Yeah,
but it's exactly like what I said, right? I mean, Alex de Minaur below a certain like ranking or quality threshold, he's just gonna crush everybody and crush. Yeah. I mean, crush. Yeah, sure. The scorelines are gonna be very lopsided.
I think I saw a stat earlier that now because he won against Bellucci today, against that certain threshold, he's lost once in his last 30 encounters. He's like 30. He's like 29-1 against people ranked above 30 or something like that.
Well, you mean below 30?
Well, depends how you look, but
probably below 30. I would have thought rather than above 30. I would imagine there's quite a few defeats.
It depends how from your perspective. Like you can actually look at it both ways, right? Like below and above just aren't. They're ambiguous.
Yeah, I do see that stat for various players from time to time and don't give it a huge amount of thought. It's important to beat the guys lower down and not get shocked too often. But probably those stats are more favorable for him than they are for example, someone like Carlos Alcaraz. But what matters most by far is winning titles and winning big ones, which Alcaraz does do from time to time. It's a nice black and white picture of Alex here on social media that I'm going to share for this last minute or so of our preview. I think I would go. I don't have as much certainty as Damien does in terms of an Alcaraz win tomorrow, but I would suggest that he will get the job done one way or another. But I can still see him dropping a set on the way, so I would probably err towards an Alcaraz win in 3. Go on, Fergus.
Just like a feeling. When was de Minaur's last top 10 win?
Could have been a while ago, right? I mean, not since the
injury. He had a reasonable
head-to-head.
He had a reasonable head-to-head with Medvedev, didn't he? Until probably a couple.
It might have been Roland Garros against Medvedev.
I think so. Ago. Yeah, not since the injury. Definitely not since
Roland Garros Medvedev. Yeah, 2024. Yeah.
Was it? Wow. I mean,
at least that's the last one I have on my.
Yeah. I mean, as a fellow,
it's definitely right. I mean, he hasn't even played that many, right? I mean, he played the ATP finals, went 0-3. He played Sinner and Fritz again at Davis Cup, Sinner again in Australia. Yeah, I mean, that's literally like his all top 10 matches, I think, probably since. So,
yeah.
That's something you definitely want to change as someone that's also in the top 10.
Yeah, but he'd need to land someone like, I don't know, like a Medvedev right now again, or a Rublev in the top 10. You know, it's tough when you play like Zverev, Fritz, Sinner all the time.
Yeah. If he played Medi this week, I think it had a
probably, yeah.
I think he would have won, yeah.
But yeah, first indoor final anyway for Carlos Alcaraz as he battles past Hubert Hurkacz.
Next gen finals, do we count it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, but over sort of a proper tennis match in terms of 3 sets and first to 6 games, etc. He is now into the final. A really good 3-set match encounter with Hubert Hurkacz today that had a few twists and turns. I mean, really, from 5-4, including the mini break advantage that Carlos had, we probably thought he would get the job done, especially with 2 serves, but he didn't in straight sets, as often is the case with Carlos. A little lapse there, a couple of sprayed balls, and Hubert Hurkacz took advantage of that. But then in the 3rd set, from the early break onwards, it was pretty much one-way traffic. And in the end, we are now going to see that Minaur Alcaraz final, with Alcaraz leading their head-to-head 2-0. Damien and I are both pretty much suggesting an Alcaraz win one way or another, and Ferguson is sticking to his prediction of Minaur winning the tournament. But I suspect there's a few more doubts in his mind right now than maybe certainly if Hurkacz had won today. I think you might have had a bit more optimism, Fergus.
Yeah. I'm going to let on that I have no doubts, because I like to think that I'm going to stick to my guns. But maybe Alcaraz might take a bit more beating than I have suggested.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will.
All right. Any final words, Damien? Do you want to address that question from Nerlan? I don't even know what it's about Berrettini.
Yeah, I don't even know whose record it is against Berrettini. Could be
think
ADM's,
he means
maybe.
Minaur.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know. They've played a few times, definitely. Matteo beat him at Wimbledon 23, right? That was the surprising win when Berrettini makes the 4th round out of nowhere. I don't know. But maybe he's just like trying to, make a joke about John constantly mentioning that I like Berrettini. And also, to Dave's questions, the slice pass or the topspin pass, it was definitely a topspin pass, set point down against John. I think the other set point was just an unforced error he made. And am I staying at a bed and breakfast somewhere sunny? Definitely not. The sun is the opposite of what you're going to have in Lille this week. The weather is absolutely horrible.
Northern France in winter, come on.
Yeah, that's what people have been saying too. Like Blocks literally said that, like, this is why I'm really good indoors, because this part of Europe, I just have to play indoors all the time. The weather is trash, and it is. And also there's like no heating at the venue. So even though I'm indoors, I still feel it. Today was much better. Though. Today was probably the warmest day we've had. Like on the morning round, I was comfortable. But like a day or two ago, Jesus, it was just absolutely terrible. But well, I mean, it's an indoor event, so I'm not crying about it. The light you see is artificial. Don't worry. Yeah, definitely not natural sun at 10 p.m.
Jaime Minaur is serving for the 2nd set against Casper Ruud.
Vamos! I mean, this is one of the best stories of the season. The fact that Jaime Minaur just decided that in the off season, I'm just going to like train on hard courts, be super aggressive, and just completely change my game, and it's working. Like this is brilliant. The fact that you can do this.
He's also up a double break, so he's got some insurance, and he saved a couple of break points, so he's got to juice now.
It's good to have insurance. Yeah.
Quickly, Damien, who do you want to win tomorrow in the Lille final?
Oh, probably Pui. I mean, Bouquet is a fantastic story, but like the story doesn't really change, regardless if he wins the title or makes the final. I mean, he's already had the best week of his life by far. And Pui, I mean, we've seen some very different sides of him, definitely. Like the first round encounter was just like an unforced error machine. But when he was on it this week, like you just get even more like kind of new appreciation for him. And even today, when he was struggling, he was kind of fun to watch because, well, you can't always be a top 10 player on every day, obviously, like he was in the quarters. So, yeah, probably I would like to see the veteran, kind of the bigger name. And, just bigger draw if he wins, I suppose, in terms of engagement and stuff. But, I'm not overly invested. The thing with these all French matches in the semis and in the final are that the French really care. Like they still have their favorites and they really sort of like mind who's going to win. Me, I would probably have more of a preference if it was a sort of like nation versus another nation final.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I just, I mean, just go guys, fight for it. Yes, I'm going to enjoy watching it. but it's kind of all the same to me at some point. Even though these guys couldn't be any more different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
24-year-olds, like, sorry to say it, but like a nobody before this event, really, and a former top 10 player.
He's gonna call you up on that tomorrow. He's watching, and he's gonna tell you, Damien, what's that about? I'm not nobody anymore.
Based on his level of English, I don't think he's watching the stream. He wasn't that bad, but he did apologize to me after he talked.
On that bombshell, we'll bring this to an end. As I say, Carlos Alcaraz will be playing in tomorrow's final against Alex de Minaur in Rotterdam, and Jaime Minaur has indeed got the second set done, so there will be a third set against Casper Ruud. You did hear me right. Indoor hard court, Casper Ruud against Jaime
I
Minaur.
don't think he can beat Paul or Shapovalov though. But even Jaime Minaur making a hard court final and an ATP 500 as well. Like that's
I did say today, did say to John, can you imagine if Minaur embarrasses us all and beats Paul and Ruud to win a 500 indoor hardcore? Like, that's surely a huge...
Beating Ruud sounds very realistic. Obviously, it's easy to say this now that he's won the second set, but like I think I was saying it yesterday too. Obviously, they went 5 in Australia, and Casper just in general is looking quite shaky. It's not his favorite conditions either. Just Paul or Shapovalov, I don't know how he gets through that one. But yeah, if he beats Tommy Paul, I'm gonna be surprised. Yeah.
I think if Paul can get through Shapovalov, I think either if it's Ruud or Minaur, I think Paul should be confident that he's got another Dallas title in the bag.
Yeah, sounds realistic. Indeed, another. Yeah, he won the last edition.
500? Second 500?
For Tommy, yeah, Queen's Club last year, yeah.
Queen's, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, he won the 500 there, yeah.
He did.
Both Paul and Ruud won their first 500s last year.
Yeah, Ruud in Barcelona, wasn't it? Beating Tsitsipas.
Yep. Chapo doesn't have one yet.
Neither does Minaur.
Neither does Minaur, definitely.
Does Minaur have an ATP title?
One final in Marbella, 2021.
Just a dictionary, aren't you, Damien?
That was just a one-time event. No, it was pretty related to a challenger story because just
really?
challenger
That's such
in
a
Marbella
development.
Yeah, and he beat Gianluca Mager in the final there, and after that he loses to Carreño Busta in the final. So yeah.
So just seeing Alcaraz giving an interview right now, but yeah, okay, cool. Thanks for joining, everyone. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Give Fergus and Damien follows on social media. Damien's at Damien Kust. Fergus, actually, I don't even know if I've got yours saved. I probably do, but you can tell us what it is.
_Gav, I believe.
Fergus_Gav. Yeah, I don't even know if I've got you saved. I should have done, bearing in mind you've been coming on for a few weeks now. Oh, there you are. Actually, you're right near the top. There you go. And yeah, and obviously give us a follow on all the socials at Talking Tennis TT on both Twitter and Instagram. And for the rest of you, you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.